All right, let's get started. How's everyone doing? This is we're doing a Friday night end of week back test. Um, I had a look. There wasn't much going on this week. I mean, there was a lot of fundamentals. Sorry, what am I doing? There was a lot of fundamentals going on this week, but in terms of personally me getting an entry, um, I was just, I guess, this week I was just on the sideline watching the market. I had a couple of the pairs came into a point of interest. Some of them went above, some of them respected it, but weren't able to give an entry. Um, and then we'll just look at, what the market did on the other side. So yeah, when I was going through it, this is what kind of um had to go over. I'll start with some of the easy ones just to follow up with what we was previously talking about last time we was here. We looked at this accumulation inside this bullish slingshot of the intraday, and essentially we can see the accumulation has got a cause and effect behind it now, i.e. is holding this entire leg. Um, and we went and we made a new bullish high. So So yeah, that's what happened this week, which I was kind of waiting on because now any sort of pullback we can get into it. He came right after that 50, shy away from that 80, and then off we went. It was a beautiful price action. Definitely one to kind of put in your portfolio and save. Oil was also one that was very similar in terms of what we looked at last week or whenever it was. We had that accumulation. We had accumulation inside the slingshot as well. And there we go. There's the accumulation there. And then same thing, we went and we made a new high this week. So it was pretty cool to watch. Unfortunately, I had a limit which I had to delete underneath. I had it somewhere down there, but it didn't activate. So when we made a new high, I went ahead and I deleted it. So yeah, that was those two, and then following on as well, we had an USD Mexican. Following on from, oh, I don't think I've got it in here. Yeah, following on from that previous accumulation, right, that came inside this accumulation here that we had a divergence inside that 50% of the mitigation candle of the intraday, right? We had a divergence and that led to some volume kicking in. Yeah, we didn't go and we didn't make a new high. Instead, we kind of distributed, right? So this is where I was looking for price to come into, to look for a sell to go down, and then this is where I was looking for a buy to come up. Unfortunately, the sell obviously never happened, so the buy didn't happen either. But in terms of price action coming into it, it was super clean. It was super clean, right? We could see another type 1 accumulation, and inside that, sorry, it was a type 2, and inside that we had a clean type 1. So overall, on the intraday level, there was a type 2, and when we go down here, there was a type 1. And then this week we had obviously we had a lot of dollar news, but this came right back to the 80 in there, and then off we went. Now, yeah, we never went and made a new high, so I would imagine that this would obviously just keep on going down and then go below this. Hold on, my cat just walked in. There you go. Cool. So yeah, so that's what that was. And I guess if anybody did take it, how would day trade manage this? For me personally, if this was a limit somewhere in there for whatever belief, whatever reason, going above this, I would go to reduce risk. Doing that, I would have gone to break even. And then, well, I guess before I go to bed, wherever this is, maybe somewhere here, I'll see if I can go and pay risk. If not, when I wake up somewhere there, I'll definitely go ahead and I'll pay risk. And then eventually, well, if this does come down, try to mitigate this and then go up. We don't know if this just clapped. Well, you break even or your secure profit would get hit. But that was good, I guess, reaction from that 80 level. And we've seen them do that. So this did this come into the 80? Well, it didn't because my alert is still there. Oh, hold on. Did it? I think it did. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Yeah, it just accumulated. Okay, cool. But yeah, but that was that. So, and then let me do, I'll just maybe use the CAD and then I'll go over. I was looking at USD. Obviously, we've got a type 1 accumulation in there today. Um, Now USD CAD has been really, really slippery. Well, except from this cell here. This was the cell. And here, look, price came inside this accumulation. And now this accumulation never did anything except from holding order flow right now. And it's obviously after breaking this. So it's holding this order flow. This is holding this. So we've got that here. Sorry, hold on. We've got this here. We've got that here. And we've distributed. So any sales up here and in any last minute buys will be down here. The moment that this gets clapped and this gets clapped, then it's all sells from here to go down. Which it looks like it might very well be. But talking about coming back into our point of interest, there is a game into it again, and then there was a type 1 in there. Something that I was watching. So when this was news today, so we had that down movement, and then I just went ahead and I set an alert here. And then obviously it went above it, didn't come down deep enough. Had my alert around at 50. And then off it went. Whether that holds or not, I'm not too sure, but definitely enough opportunity. What's that? That is, I don't know how you would have got in, but let's just say from here, that's 50 pips at least um, to go to break even or something. It wasn't worth the risk for me to take this. Yeah, it wasn't worth the risk for me to put something like 40 pips stop loss on this. Number one, because this is not holding anything but order flow. Okay. And number two, it didn't cause anything. All it did was it just helped price come into a sell point of interest. Now we look at what that is. So there you go. So we have tapped into our higher time frame extreme. We've distributed, we've made a low, and then we've accumulated here only to help price come into this distribution, and then we can see the selling pressure coming off that. So that's why for me this not there. I'd rather wait for something down here or something down here to see what we get from there, and then obviously any sort of sales we will go down with it. This would be, I guess, a good point for every distro once this gets taken. But in terms of USD there was something that I guess we could have used for us to get in some sort of entry here, and that would be the futures. And it was this. So I guess it's the flip side of it. We've had some sort of accumulation here that gave us a move, but then essentially we can see the retracement coming down, right? You can see this is an attempt to accumulate, an attempt to distribute. There was the eye, so this is what's holding the redistribution right now, and then try to accumulate here, work our way into this. And when we look at where this has come into and what it did, it was just textbook. So we know we've got distribution here. Now for me, I would say this is well mitigated by this. We've come fairly deep enough into this, right? And then when we look at there's that, when we look at also what causes price to come outside of the trading range is obviously this, right? And we can see this well drawn redistribution. Redistribution mitigates the leg and then also causes a new leg. And then when we go inside, we can clearly see the micro distribution in here. So many drives, and then we get the manipulation that takes out all of the early sellers. We get a break that we need. Price does come back up, mitigate, and then off we go. Okay, so sellers are showing their hand, and then look at what happened if I was to just measure this whole thing. Where you up there? So if I was just measuring, wick to wick from that to that to capture the entire manipulation. There's our 50, there's our 80. And when we look at what happens, price comes to the 80 right there. And look at what it's done. It's done a beauty. We get very similar price action. We get obviously the distro, 2, 3, and then there's the manipulation. There's the break that we need, and there's the comeback. And then even so, look at they use the obviously the news to add more volume to go down. Okay, news as the excuse, and then off they go. So we know that obviously CAD had weakness coming into it, so that would have given you some sort of idea to watch out for USD CAD. So that was again clean price action in this clean market cycle, clean manipulation, and yeah. Cool. So the other one I wanted to talk about was, let's do Eurochef because that was a follow up as well. So Eurochef, we looked at this last week when we were trading up in here. We looked at Eurochef when we was trading up in here in terms of this. So yeah, no, sorry, this is what we was looking at when price was coming into it. And same thing, we've got this manipulation. Now I never threw anything off that 50. I was waiting for this right here. And then also I want to say this was very late. No, I'm lying. It was a Friday. And then obviously we got a break. This came in. Okay, that came into 50, and then there's even a micro in there. That's a Tuesday. Sweet. There's a micro in there. And there's the break that you would have needed. There's another break there, and then there's the entire the other break that you would have needed for at least go to break even, reduce risk, and pay risk. But that's not the one that I was going to talk about. This is this is the one. Go over it. So essentially, I mean, it was order flow, right? I don't think I've seen anything this week that was trading outside of out of the structure, unless I've missed anything. But when I was looking at this, right, we saw where bearish comes through, so order flow is what we have to play until order flow breaks. And then we can see this was a break. So now our leg is being maintained, our order flow leg, sorry, is being maintained by this. Okay, and then so this for me is the whole extreme. So price can come into here and distribute. And then the other thing is obviously this redistro that causes it. So when we look at what has let's go back to there. That's when we broke it. So now when we look back to where what point of interest we could trade at. Right, that finish. Okay. When we look at that, I saw this whole thing here. So you can do even that. And I haven't actually looked at the full volume candle yet, but let's say something. That 7-7 looks good. Maybe if you play around. We throw off that 7-7. Okay. So for me, this is the spot. P1. And then once we can see that the retracement leg has occurred, we can throw a Fibonacci from that low to that high, and then see how have we retraced deep enough. And then just to look for more confluence. I want to see if there's any like sort of imbalance left in this. No. Okay. And then other thing we could do is we could mark up the open of New York. Not that we need it, but there's the New York open. And then we can see the retracement has occurred, so we can go and we can throw our fibber in there and see. So this for me is where I would have done it, but obviously we can't forget the 50. So there's that. And then you could offset it somewhere in there. Could go from that 80 to this. And then if you want to get one of that one, then go down there. And then this for me personally, if I was taking that, it would have been 0.10. So I would have done 0.05 and then 0.05. Because that's my order flow. And target wise, we're obviously looking for this to go. Okay, that would give you 12 to 1. And I think your 80 would give you even, that's a 16 there. Yeah. So let's see what happens. So we've had London Open. London hasn't swept the Asian low, and it just obviously took the Asian high. They took that. The break actually happens. Yeah. So this would have been news. News would have tapped us in, and then, well, we would have had another 10 pips for us to play with spread, which I think might be doable. And then let's see how we'll trade manage that. And that was that was Wednesday. For me, I know personally, reduce risk there. Yeah, there you go. So we reduce risk. Okay. And then I was gonna see where, if it does want to come back and mitigate, whereabouts it has come to. Keep the 50 and 80, and let's see. So it comes very close to the 50. Does it give us something there? I wonder if that would be. No, it doesn't tap you in. What's the no. You could have deleted this one, and you could have thrown. Let's see if you can throw 0.05 in here. See if it does anything. What I'll do is I'll just take it all. We've already got 2 drives. Let's see if you can give us maybe another third. Building something. Just need to get that pop now. Some manipulation. It's Asian. But this could be good because then tomorrow we could get, tomorrow during London Open we could get something. Speed it up. This is Asian. This is Frankfurt Open. That would have got you in, but with even less of an R&R. So that for me was the clean play. Well, obviously this was Asian, so I know personally I would have deleted it going into it, and I would have tried to play the um distro in the morning, which I don't think I won't say we haven't got. Even a micro. No, not enough of a manipulation. No. Cool. Yeah, so that was that. And then again, we had reduced risk. I would have gone to break even here. And then pay risk. Um, yeah, this has given us an opportunity of buy 5 to 1. So cool. And then the other order flow that I wanted to go over was GBPCAD. So let's quickly do a top down, and then we can talk about this one. So GCAD, we are bearish time frame. We're bearish from up here on a high time frame, up here on the intraday, and then that on the lower time frame. Okay, so this for me is a slingshot. This is the extreme of the lower time frame, and then the slingshot of the intraday. So now when we come inside this price action, so on the bigger time frame, we could be creating something. Okay, but looking at what price did this week and in terms of order flow, we had, well, we're still bullish from here. We've had this reaccumulation, gone into this distribution, and then price came down. Price maintained this uh, accumulation in here, and then we came up. We failed to go and make a new high, and instead we tapped into that distribution. So we got a distro here, and then we're making a series of lower lows and lower highs. And this week we made this low. So for the past for the past week, as I said, we're making new lows, and we're making new lows, and we're coming up, mitigating fairly good. And then same thing here, and now same thing here. I believe this one had some sort of manipulation to it as well. Yeah, like we just went above and then took out of these early sellers. Nonetheless, well, that's order flow. That's why we don't really like to trade it. But we went and we made a new low. So now order flow is back to bearish. But then when we look at inside this, we have got this nice distro here. Nice distro. It's got New York Open in there. There you go. Okay, it's got New York Open in there, and then obviously it's gone and made a new low. Just gonna measure the whole thing. Yeah, and I'm gonna see if we have any confluence coming inside this last push up. It does seem like we have mitigated. Yeah, we've come inside the 50. So I'm not really gonna pay attention to that. What we could do is we could throw, again, this would be order flow rates, right? Something of the 80, and then just split. Do that, and then let me go back to, I won't say that 80. We could split it two ways, right? We could do it from this, and then somewhere in there, and then we can go to the full point of interest. And then we're looking to make a new low here. That's a 7 to 1. And from this one, oops, from this one, we're looking to make a new low here. That's also back 7 to 1. Our 10 to 1 would be somewhere there. And this one just a little bit more down there. And again, we've still got this to go and target. So that is our main target for us to kind of take a large amount of volume because this is order flow. What is that? Okay, there you go. And then boom, right there. Cool. And then same thing. So when price comes up, I can throw a fibber and try to see where we're trading at. And now we started the retracement, coming into it for another New York session. And there's that. So the 80 of the fibber lines up with the 80 of this. Okay, me personally, I know I like it more when my 88.8 lines up with the 80. But this is also good enough. So yeah, so nothing for me to change, just more of a confirmation. And then yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll split that. So I'll put 0.05. I'll put 0.03 and 0.03. That's 0.06. And I would play with the 0.04 a distro in here because this is my 50. I could get a distro, especially this is New York. If I don't, then I'll change it and then I'll put 0.05 and 0.05. So let's see. So yeah, no distro, and I would increase that and increase this. We're gonna journal this one properly, so let me just do that. Okay, and then we had the micro insert. Okay, we come back. Right, and then let's say, so this was, there you go, GBPCAD. Yes, we've got 100K. And we're throwing 0.010. Actually, no, let's do properly. So we got 0.05. Stop loss, this one was, I'll make it 12. And this one is what? I'll make this one 13. Yep, so 12 and 13. So this goes 0.5 and $50. And we might as well do this one as well. 0.51 and $50. Double that and big bar. Cool. Don't tell me we missed that. No, we're creating something. It's good. Just want to get that pop. Yeah, there you go. So I'll go like a distro in the making. And then this was the FOMC news, isn't it? So yeah, USD FOMC. Okay, and then really I would need this to go to break even now. Sorry, to go to reduce risk. Okay, and then the play would be to do that, that, that. Go, and then so yeah, let's see. So Asian, well, you're still in. You haven't done anything yet. For me personally, I would still be waiting for this. Okay, there you go. So we get that. Okay, so we get reduced risk and then deleting 80. So we delete that one. So we're in this $50. And let's just see how much. Okay, so I'm just gonna say this is 6 bits, right? So we saved 25 bucks. Okay, so we now have 25 bucks to play with. We now have 25 bucks to play with if price comes back up in here. So now this is this is Thursday, London session. See if price gives us a little something in between here. Personally, I'm not gonna throw a limit. From that to that. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna play with it. I rather throw that 25 bucks into what's it called? Into the distro or the redistro. Because again, I don't know if this is gonna hold. This London could go and take that, still maintain this, and then come down. I don't want to save it here, but then lose it here. So I will be patient. And if I miss it, I miss it. If I don't, then I've still saved 25 bucks. So let's see. Price is coming into that 50. See if it gives us a little something. No, not really. So even that limit here would have to go ahead and delete it. And then I would go to break even here. Okay. Go to break even. So we have risk to play 50 bucks again. Okay. Cool. And then now we've got this, right? So we've still got London crossover. So I'm actually going to see if we can maintain that order flow and then just keep on keep on going down. There's New York. Did we come into that 80 now? Highway. Okay, cool. Now this is even better because we can use that register of New York and that manipulation in there. This was, I'm assuming, yeah, some sort of news Thursday, 1:30. Yeah, so any sort of pullback into it, I could actually now throw something inside that 80. I'll throw $25 in there. And I'll wait. Okay, so we made that new low. Hold on. We made that new low here. So here I'm gonna go and pay risk. Pay risk. And that's $50. This is still on for me. Okay, so now I'll go and I'll delete that. There's no coming back here. So I'll go and I'll delete this. Okay. And then I'll take partials at 10 to 1. Oh, which we've done. So partial 1 at 10 to 1 over here. And we'll take 25%. Which is that? 25%. And then we've got got 37.50 left to go. Okay. And then now, okay, now we're coming up into Friday. And that's where we are now. So the market gave us a 17 to 1 maximum so far. There you go. We can put that in here. This is GBPCAD 0.50 short. Um, This was my entry. No, I'm not gonna put that. It's my stop loss. Let's put a 10 to 1 on this one. Now actually let's go, we'll put this as our target, right? Oh, what's that? Yeah, 1, 6, 8, 6, 5, 8, 2, 0. Cool. We have an exit. This is a win break even. And we have collected so far from this, we have collected 50 plus 1260, which is 62, 60, and this is purely order flow. 80, redistro, play, session was actually Asian, so this was Asian, wasn't it? PROTREND were bearish. And I take loss. Days of the week was Wednesday. Oh, sorry, Thursday. Time for setup. So after this low here, it took price another 15 hours to come back. 15 hours. And duration of trade we have got. So this has, oh, I'm not sure if this has even activated because that was, oh no, it's not. It was 7 o'clock, some sort of FOMC news. So I'm just going to count that. That's 1 day and 16 hours. 1 day, and I'll round it up to 17 hours. I've got the image before and after, and that's all fine. I'll put that in there. Cool. Good, yeah, so that was the one that I wanted to go over. The main one to kind of trade up, and that's the only one that kind of gave us a 10 to 1 off this order flow play. It's a shame that this distro didn't build itself up nicely, i.e. give us some more drives and then that pop that we wanted. But it is what it is. And yeah. Cool.